What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome back to Two in the Zone. We are doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have the one and only Dead Prez Picks. How's it going, my guy?
Just happy it's Friday, man. How you doing?
Yeah, happy is Friday. It is wild card weekend. We'll be getting into some NFL later tonight. The focus right now is going to be NBA. I had four plays actually in the NBA yesterday. Did a lot of action, especially for me when it comes to the NBA. I unfortunately only went 2-2. How did your bets go?
Yeah, NBA day yesterday. See, wasn't a bad one. Wasn't a great one. Had the T Wolves, so that was one that was a little disappointing there.
I had them too. Yeah.
Yeah, they led by one with like a minute 30 left. They couldn't cover the +4, so got to give the Grizz some credit for that one last night. But pretty late night in the NBA for me. Also had the Bucks money line, which I was happy about because that might have been the easiest winner of the year. And then the other games I did lay off. I kept an eye on them. Was looking for some live spots, but kind of blowouts in the other three. Right, Pelicans rolled the Clippers.
Yep.
Thunder surprisingly rolled the Nets. And then the Nuggets just put it all on the Blazers last night, 140 to 108, 140 points from that Nuggets team. So all in all, a split NBA night or 2-1 NBA night for me overall. A little bit of profit, and excited to move into this Friday night slate with you.
Yeah, huge slate tonight. I'll go ahead and get through some of the games from last night. You mentioned it. Bucks blew out the Warriors. I was on the Warriors team total over at 110.5. It wasn't close. I was killed by that 17-point second quarter. I think they were down by like almost 40 points at halftime. This was not a game at all. The score indicated that it was a close game. It was not. This was a blowout. Bucks, impressive win for them without Drew Holiday. The second game here, I was on the Timberwolves with you as well. This looked like a really good bet at halftime and even midway through the third quarter. What happened here in the second half? Were you following?
Even with a minute left, they see a minute 30 left. Minnesota actually led by one. So, I mean, this team they continue to kind of screw me against the Grizzlies. I don't know if you remember, like a month ago when I had them, they were winning that game by like 15 with 5 minutes left. They were like +6 or 7. They didn't only lose the game, but it went to overtime. They didn't even cover. So for some reason against the Grizzlies, they just have trouble closing games out. They blew them out one time. They could easily be 3-0 against the Grizzlies, but you got to give the Grizzlies credit, right? When the time mattered most,
Yep.
they stepped up. They played good defense. They were able to turn over. The Timberwolves had 3 straight turnovers, I think, in that last like minute.
That is
So
annoying. I wasn't following it that close. I didn't know that's how we
yeah,
lost cover.
the one they were down 3 with like I'd say 50 seconds, and Cat shot a 3. It looked like it was going to be called like a defensive foul. They ended up calling him for like sticking his leg out. So kind of got screwed there.
Yeah.
It was just an unfortunate sequence. But yeah, the Bucks, like you were saying, I was on them. I didn't think it would be that easy. Like like you said, the score, it wasn't even a 19-point game. I mean, they basically
No.
won that game by like 35, 40 points. They just took their foot off the gas. A little bit of concern maybe for the Warriors, but we know what they are without Draymond. Like he means so much to that team.
And they're
And
trying to integrate right Clay back in, and so they're not
right,
playing
yeah,
at 100%.
yeah. I'm not going to panic on the Warriors by any means. I still think they're one of the best teams in the West.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to this next game here, I want to give a quick shout out to Seven Stack Sports. Everyone, give them a quick follow. Seven Stack Sports right there on the screen on Twitter. Best Twitter book by far. 24/7 customer service minus 105 juice lines. They've been working with myself and Dad for several months now. Super reputable, awesome to work with in general. And if you're looking for, books to add to the NFL slate this weekend, it's wild card weekend, 6 huge games. He's going to actually offer an amazing odds boost on all 6 games. We're trying to convince him to give all 12 teams to this weekend a
Mhm.
touchdown. So basically, built-in teasers there. I think you guys are really going to love that. Again, give him a follow. 7 Stack Sports, same-day payouts if you're using cryptocurrency. Let them know AC or Dead sent you, and you guys gonna basically help this keep the show going. All right, so this next game here, my first win of the NBA night. Again, I went 2-2. So Warriors team total was an L. Timberwolves was an L. Clippers team total under. This was an easy win here. no Paul George, obviously no Kawhi, no Lucas Kennard. There's no offense on this team. They barely got to 89 points. This was a struggle for them. Easy win for the Pelicans. Pelicans back-to-back wins, man. Are you riding that New Orleans train?
I'm hoping so. I took a long shot preseason them to make the playoffs. Then Zion gets hurt, and their team just kind of sucks. But I mean, the way the bottom of the West looks, like they're gonna have a shot at maybe getting into a playing game. I'm all in on the Pelicans, right? Let's get some juices flowing before Zion gets back, and let's punch that Pelicans to make the playoffs ticket. Get a little bit of an upset. But yeah, I mean they're doing their thing. Ingram's been playing well, and they took care of business last night against a depleted Clipper team.
All right, let me go ahead and share this on my Twitter real quick. Dead Prez is all in on the Pelicans. I love it. All right,
All in
share.
all, in the playoffs. All right, AC, if you want to, we can, while you're tweeting that out, we can get to tonight's slate. We got to start with a little bit of a sleeper here, boys. We apologize. Magic and Hornets. This game might just suck. The Hornets are a minus 10.5 point favorite. Every time I look at the Magic's record, it just gets more impressive. 7-35. I mean, that is
Sheesh.
that's Russell Westbrook shooting stats right there. AC.
Worse. Yeah.
So let's get into this one a little bit. Maybe if we can find an angle in this one. Again, the Magic pretty beat up for the Hornets. Really, the only notable guy out is Kelly Oubre Jr.
hmm
Do you think that the Magic could cover this 10.5, or do you think it's just a blowout for the Hornets tonight?
So I've been kind of experimenting a little bit with team totals. Obviously, just went 1-1 last night. Um, when I don't like a side, like obviously, there's no way I can back the Magic. In my opinion, I know the Hornets are a super favorite team tonight, super public team. I mean, at home. I would ride something maybe like Hornets team total over or Magic team total under. That's something that I would do. But I do kind of lean the under in this game for the full game, so that's going to make me lean the Magic team total under.
Okay. Yeah, tough game to find an angle in. Probably a stay away game for me. We have to get to every game on this slate, but I really didn't even want to talk about that game. You see, all right, Celtics and my Sixers.
Ooh,
Let's
big
get
game.
to this one. Yeah, I mean the Celtics again. Marcus Smart will be out tonight, so the Sixers minus 3.5 at home. Joel Embiid, man, I mean, he has just been on a tear. MVP type numbers. He's putting 30
Yep.
plus up a night. I mean, he's just doing it. He's been stuck on auto at the moment. I love the Sixers tonight. No Philly bias. I grabbed them at -2. The line has since jumped a little bit. I grabbed them last night at -120, -2. But what's your thoughts on this game? Because I think the Sixers can just roll in this spot at home against, I don't want to say a beat up Celtics team, but we know Marcus Smart is a big player for the Celtics team.
Yeah, Marcus Smart is one of the most important, if not the most important player on the Celtics outside of Jason Tatum. These are two mediocre teams, to be honest, Dead. Against the spread, Philly's only 20-20. Boston is 20-21. Where Philly struggles is actually at home. They're only 6-11 against the spread at home. But you're right. This is a Philly spot. They're coming off a pretty disappointing loss against Charlotte last time out Wednesday night. So great bounce back spot for them. Again, a home game for the Sixers. They should be ready for this game. Celtics kind of riding high, right? 3-game winning streak. You kind of have to regress that streak, basically. So I agree with you. I think this is a Sixer spot. That -2 number you got earlier is beautiful, but I think they still cover the 3.5 right now.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that a little bit, that they're having woes at home, because they used to be, automatic at home. They have struggled a little bit. I know it's more so against the spread, but they just in general haven't been as good of a home team. So this could be a good get me right spot at home tonight. And I like the fact that there is no Marcus Smart for Boston. All right, Suns and Pacers, just a 5.5 point spread here. Every game the Pacers play, I don't know who's in. Like, I feel like Brogdon's questionable, LeVert's always questionable, Duarte's always every single player on the Pacers is always questionable. So
Always,
assuming we have to double check their lineup, but let's get into this one. You think the Suns at -5.5 get this done on the road? The total 220. I just want to try and get the current report. So on via ESPN right now, what I see is Brogdon day-to-day and Torrey Craig day-to-day. So it looks like they're getting healthier here. Cam Johnson day-to-day for the Suns. I think if it's a healthy Pacers team, it's a good Pacers spot. What do you think?
Yeah, this is arguably the sharpest spot of the night. Pacers at home +5.5. Everyone expects the Suns to roll. They are the better team, and basically in any way you want to put it. They're 31-9 overall. Indiana is only 15-27, going through a ton of injuries. Transition period with Rick Carlisle there as a new coach. But the thing with the Pacers is they're always going to play hard for you. And I think a lot of those guys who are, at the forefront of all these trade rumors, I think they're trying to show out and try to get on a good team. So if they're going to get moved away from Indiana, I bet they want to play in a big market or a contending team. So guys like Sabonis, Miles Turner, I think they're going to step up. They've lost 4 out of the last 5. This is a great spot for the Pacers to not only cover the 5.5, but I can see them winning the game outright.
Yeah, I love this Pacers play. Again, this is assuming that we get Brogdon in, Duarte in, LeVert in, and no one comes down with COVID and just magically can't play. So I think the Pacers in a good spot here tonight. They stay at home, and like you said, the Suns will be a public darling in this spot tonight. All right, Raptors, Pistons. Another game. Like, do we have to talk about this game? I guess we do, right? Pistons a whopping 9-31. So this also kind of look like Russell Westbrook shooting numbers there, AC, on their record. But I mean, the Raptors have kind of turned a corner a little bit. They've played some good basketball. In the new year, they are coming off of a hard-fought home loss to the Suns. They covered that spread, but prior to that, they won every game in the new year, and it looks like they'll win one tonight. What's your thoughts on this spread at -9?
They are one of the better over teams in the NBA. Toronto is 23-15 on the over.
They're 21. Be a big under team, right? Like you would think over time, but now this year, that's an interesting stat there.
Yeah, a lot of it is, they play in Toronto, no fans, right? We kind of mentioned that last time. It's hard, though, to do the over in this game because you have to trust the Pistons, right, to at least get 9,500 by themselves. And I don't. So I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors team total over. That is my angle here, probably my lean. Not sure if it's going to be a VIP play yet tonight, but I do like the Raptors to roll, and I think they're going to score a ton of points themselves. Again, the issue is there's no Gary Trent, so that does take 2 to 3 threes out of your lineup every night.
Yeah, he's a nice player for them for sure. I can't trust the Pistons. I try to stay away from Pistons games in general. I say, as much as I can. Although they did come through for me like a week ago when they played who they play that they beat? I think they beat the Magic, and I had like Pistons money line. It was just like an awful game, but they somehow were able to pull it off. So I don't want to hate on the Pistons too much. Maybe one day they'll be good. Like, they do have young guys who have potential, right?
They beat Utah. Remember that big upset?
Yeah,
11-point underdogs, and they won by 10. Yeah,
they dropped 80 points in the second half. So
yeah,
not too fond of that. But yeah, I mean, maybe it gets better. Being a Detroit fan right now has got to suck. They have the Pistons, they have the Tigers. Right? They have the Red Wings and they have the Lions. Like, those teams suck. Like, they're not. No one's even like halfway decent.
We should do a show about this, but that could be the worst sports city right now, huh?
It has to be, and they have good fans. Like, it's like Detroit has good fans, but I mean, right now, I don't know what they would cheer for. Maybe
Houston. I guess Houston has the Astros.
Yeah, Houston. They could. Yeah, they have the Astros. But all right, let's move it along here to what do we got here? Oh, the Warriors and Bulls. Look at that beautiful game tonight. Warriors again, man. They're kind of on a skid right now that we haven't seen out of them, but they're still 30-11, so it's not overreact here. You mentioned they're kind of getting Clay back in the lineup, but it takes time, like you said. Draymond has been out of the lineup. The Bulls open as a 3.5-point favorite here. Just someone to note for the Bulls, Derrick Jones Jr. is out. I know that's not like the most flashy name, but he's a guy who was starting for them. He plays really good defense. Kind of try to step into that Patrick Williams role for the Bulls. So just someone that's out for them at the moment. But what's your thoughts here? Warriors on a back-to-back tonight, and they are a 3.5-point dog in the Windy City.
Yeah, so the Warriors, a lot of people don't know, their recipe for success is actually their defense. They're the number 1 rated defense in the NBA. Which you can see in their over-under record. The under is 26-13 in Golden State games. So the unders have been hitting for Golden State. What's really struggling for them is their offense. And we talked about it, right? No Draymond on offense, sharing the ball, Klay Thompson trying to get integrated. Jordan Poole honestly has taken a huge step backwards. He started the season so hot. So I think the play here, is a Steph Curry night. I called a KD night a couple nights ago against the Bulls when they blew him out. I think another superstar now is heading into Chicago. There's no Caruso tonight, so it's going to be only Lonzo Ball trying to D-up Steph Curry, and it's impossible, to D-up Curry for 40 minutes a game. If he goes tonight, and I think he's still just probable, it's not for sure that he's active. If he's a go tonight, I think Steph Curry goes off for at least 30, 35 points. So look at Steph Curry player props.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think it's a game that will come down to the wire here. So I like the Warriors actually with the points. I feel like I typically wouldn't go, but the thing is also like last night they were not taxed in that second half. Like they kind of just.
Yeah, he didn't play. He didn't play for the final 18 minutes.
Yeah. He didn't play for the majority of the second half. So it's not like a normal back to back. So I'm not putting too much stock into that. But yeah, that's just something to keep an eye on. I think the Warriors do get it done tonight. I actually like them to win this outright. All right, Atlanta Hawks, Miami Heat. I had the Hawks a couple nights ago against the Heat. That didn't work at all. I mean,
it was looking good, right? So that terrible third quarter start. I think it was 25-3 to start the third quarter. Like what the hell?
They just got the living hell beat out of them. But you know what? I don't play for the Hawks. I'm not blaming myself here. AC. We'll blame Trae Young or someone like that. So let's get into the game tonight. Hawks a 4.5 point dog. I'm back on the Hawks way, man. I think they get it done tonight, assuming no Jimmy Butler goes. I like them with the points. You know me. I'm a big when these teams play back to back. I'll take the other side. So what do you think about this one tonight? Because I think the Hawks.
Yeah, Hawks definitely the play. Super sharp play. Road dog against the Heat team, who's been playing a lot better recently. They've been on the road a lot, but now they're back in Miami. They're sitting at 26-15, 3-game winning streak. Hawks going the other way, 3-game losing streak. Again, this is a rematch from Wednesday night. So I agree with Dad. This is a Hawks spot. One thing that I would caution is bad teams are bad teams, man. I think and Hawks, in my opinion, are a bad team. They don't cover certain games like this. This is 100% a Hawks read. I just don't know if I can trust them. But they're getting, DeAndre Hunter back, who I'm a big fan of. John Collins is there. There's no Capella tonight, Dead, so that might hurt. And then obviously they just traded Cam Reddish. So they are losing a little bit of depth tonight. So we need Ice Trae to kind of go off if you want the Hawks to cover.
Why not? All right, Spurs, Cavs. I love the Spurs tonight, AC, in this spot, getting the points. What's your thoughts on this game?
Spurs all the way, man. I agree with you. We have a lot of alignment tonight. DeJounte Murray's playing. Few guys that are out for the Spurs, and they've been out now for a couple games. Keldon Johnson, Derek White, Doug McDermott. But DeJounte's back. Devin Vassell is back. I think right now, because of all the injuries that the Cavs are dealing with, I mean, I tend to lean Spurs as a team right now. So give me the Spurs tonight. I definitely think they win, cover, always.
Yeah, I think it's a good Spurs play in this one. I like them getting the points here. The Cavs, everyone's going to hop on the Cavs thinking they're going to get it done again. But I think it's a really good play for the Spurs tonight. I love them at home here, getting 3.5 points. All right, just to reset the room, AC, again, shout out to the best sports book on Twitter. Follow them on there at 7Stack Sports. Big giveaways here for NFL weekend that we're going to get into. Well, we got a whole show coming up now, AC.
Let's just go ahead and announce it, man. We have, 150 people in the live right now. We are going to do an NFL playoff show every Friday night during the playoffs. So the next 4 Fridays or the next 3 Fridays, skip a week, and then we'll preview the Super Bowl. But definitely look forward to that. There's going to be a ton of promotions as well. We kind of mentioned an odds boost, but Stacks is even going to do even better promotions with bonuses and giveaways and things like that. So definitely check back later today while we do our NFL preview.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yep. So 4 o'clock on the East Coast, right? AC, we're going to hit that one up. So keep an eye out for that. All right. The Grizzlies and your Dallas Mavericks tonight. Grizz -2. They are hot as hell at the moment. What do you think about this game tonight? Do you think we get a little bit of – I thought we were getting the Grizzlies regression last night, but now they're on a back-to-back, and this was a hard-fought back-to-back. It's not like the Warriors back-to-back where they didn't really play in the fourth quarter, their main guys. This game came down to the wire. They played a full game. What do you think about this one tonight with the Mavs getting a couple points in this spot? Who do you like?
Yeah, the spot here is definitely Dallas, right? Memphis on an 11-game winning streak, but the line is going to Dallas, the road team. They just got, their asses beat in New York, lost by 23, I believe, to the Knicks. And that was a Mavericks play as well. So I think it is a Mavericks play today. I don't know if I'm manly enough to put real money on it, right? But I mean, I'm just gonna cap it the way that I see it. Mavericks coming off a loss, Grizzlies flying high. You never want to buy so high, right? So it's a good spot for Dallas. Only 2-point underdogs on the road, and it's moving towards Dallas without Kristaps Porzingis. To me, it's a Mavericks screamer, man.
Yeah, I love the Mavs here tonight. I think it's a good regressional spot. Shout out to our boy Grant Albert AC in the chat. He was thinking about a fade on the Grizz tonight. Said he had the T-Wolves with us last night, but that was a little disappointing there at the end. All right, the final game of the night: the Rockets and the Kings. So we got the Kings here at -5. The over/under at 238.5. I'm going to hold my breath here and say it's a decent underplay just because it's so damn high. What do you think about this one, the Rockets here and the Kings?
Yeah, so the Rockets and the Kings, usually, I mean, Dead is spot on this. Like, usually when you see these two teams, especially in Sacramento, you're going to lean the over. And the steam is going over. Open at 237.5, 238. Now it's up to 238.5. So it's going to continue to rise there. These two teams, I mean, it's hard to back. We're both, I don't know about you, but I'm on both of these teams for win totals under for the year. So Rockets and Kings. So I hope they both end up in a tie somehow, and maybe they just score under 238 so we both win.
Right. How about that Spurs game, AC? That hurt. The Rockets beating the Spurs. That wasn't good for.
That was not as a double loss, man. We were talking about a double win. It ended up being a double loss.
Well, hopefully we get a single loss on the Rockets tonight. I like that under there, AC at 239. All right, these have been on a heater, right? The best bet of the day that we have been doing. So let's get into our favorite bet for tonight. I will let you start here, AC. You kick us off with what you think is the best one for tonight.
It's a scary bet because they are the number one team in the East, but I'm going to fade Chicago again. I think it's a Warrior spot. I think Steph Curry is going to go off. So look into Curry props, but my official best bet will be Warriors plus 3.5 on the road.
All right. Well, I think we have a best bet collab maybe for the first time in best.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even know you were doing Warriors.
I'm going to go Warriors. Yeah, I think it's a great spot here. I think we're getting a really generous line due to the back-to-back, right? Like I think that – and also their bad fortunes of late. And I think that Derrick Jones Jr. injury steps up a little bit more because, like, you're losing one of your best defenders. They all already lost Patrick Williams. They've been struggling also without guys like Caruso. Like, role players are really important for the Bulls. I understand they have the star power in DeMar and, Vucevic and Levine and Lonzo, but those role players really show up. That second unit for them has really been an issue. So give me the Warriors tonight, little bounce back game. I'm calling a big Clay night here, big Steph night.
Ooh, I would love that. I would love Clay to go off for 40 on national TV.
Yeah, I think we just get them bouncing back. And, I mean, they just got embarrassed last night on national TV. It means something. I know it's early in the season, but it does mean something. So give me the Warriors as well, AC.
All right. Let's go, guys. Any final thoughts, Dad, before we close out the show? I got to get some NFL content out, right, for our boys there at OC, and then prep for our show later tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So make sure you guys come back here, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. We are going to dive into.
Oh, Clay's out, Dad. We got some comments in the chat. Clay is out tonight. Does that change our best bets?
Yeah, that changes my best bet.
All right.
Void the action. I just called my book.
Void that. Hopefully you guys didn't get it in. But I'm gonna say I'm still gonna stick with Steph Curry props.
Just ask your bookie. Yeah, just ask your bookie nicely. Say yeah, AC and Dead screwed up, and their injury reports suck, and that we're not going to count them.
Blame ESPN, man. Blame ESPN.
All right, you know what? I'm changing my best bet. I'm going to go back to my team who never lets me down, the Philadelphia 76ers. I called them early, but at 3.5, I still think it's fine. 3, whatever your number is. Take them. They're
I guess I'll change mine. Instead of Warriors, Instead of Warriors plus 3.5, definitely look into definitely look into Steph player props. But if you want an official play, I'm gonna ride with the Mavericks. You're riding with your home team. I'm gonna ride with mine. I like the Mavs plus 2 tonight. I think they win outright.
And now, you know what though? I might put a larger wager on the Warriors because they're only 3.5 and Clay's out.
Without Clay and Draymond.
You know what? I'm not switching it. My best bet's the Warriors. I'm back.
Dang, we gave you guys 3 best bets.
All right, guys. Best of luck tonight. Have a happy and safe weekend. And again, we'll be back at 4:00 with a full breakdown of the NFL wildcard weekend. Please don't miss out. We have a lot of cool giveaways, picks. We're going to really dive into it. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by my dog. We're really going to dive into it.
I'm dog sitting, so should I bring my dog up for the NFL show later?
It's not fun just getting bit while you're talking. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that, guys. Shout out to the best sportsbook on Twitter. Give them a follow at 7Stack Sports, the best in the business. All right, guys, we will see you back at 4 p.m. on the East Coast.
Later, guys.